On the 25th of July 2014, LMQ announced on Facebook the firing of their general manager Sharon Lee. The public statement cited reasons of distractions and therefore must part ways with not only Sharon Lee, but also the US agent that helped LMQ settle into North America ANK Esports. This public announcement also introduced the community to Luyu Esports, citing that this company is the owner and will now manage LMQ and take the team to a new level. This statement shrouded the community with confusion. What is the link between Sharon and ANK Esports? What is ANK's affiliation to LMQ, and why did LMQ fire the one person that funded the team, using her own money on team expenditures and acted as an overall mother figure? Claims of distractions does not satisfy the community's desire for answers. To add to the confusion, Sharon claimed she didn't even know about her firing until she found the public statement on Reddit. When the community noticed this tweet, everyone knew some significant drama happened internally within LMQ and that there was more to come in the next few days. On a side note, inside the public statement, it talked about Luyu Esports hiring a more experienced coach. This excerpt caused the actual head coach of the team, Peter Zhang, to question his own job security. We will hear more from Peter later. The next day, July 26, more rumors on Sharon's departure started to arise. A source from the LPL chimed in on the situation. This source revealed the characters behind the LMQ name. There was Alex Ku, who was the other manager of the team, Eno Lee, the CEO for both LMQ and Starhorn Royal Club at the time, Luyu Esports, Sharon, and Eric Liao, the co-owner of ANK Esports. This LPL source holds other claims too. First, that Sharon and Eric seize control of LMQ through Riot and the other three are suing them, and second, that Sharon's tweet of innocence was a lie and she knew this conflict weeks in advance. We'll dive into all these claims later. On July 27, Sharon Lee opens up on Facebook. In this 1,000-word Facebook post, she began by stating the reason she joined LMQ. I was approached by Eno Lee, who told me he was disgusted of the scandalous Chinese esports scene and wanted to build a team that would be treated fairly in the United States. I was touched by Eno's initiative to pave a road for a team of young players to chase their dreams. At the time, I was a graduate student of USC, and since the team will be based in LA, I agreed to help. Sharon then reaffirmed the community about how she helped LMQ during the financial distress, never received money from TNC, and that her firing was a complete surprise. She also confirmed that Alex Ku, who was formerly the assistant manager, will take over her position. The relation between these two figures will be important soon. The one frightening claim Sharon makes is the visa concerns for the LMQ players. The visas were under ANK Esports, and the LMQ players were recognized as ANK employees. The fact that ANK has been removed entirely from the LMQ organization jeopardizes the entire team's stay in North America. Remember, this drama occurred during the middle of Week 10, and LMQ were guaranteed to end up in the playoffs with a chance of reaching their goal, representing North America at Worlds. Their work and dominance would have meant nothing if they were disqualified and forced to leave the country. July 28, some Redditors started to investigate Luyu Esports. They found this. Luyu Esports LLC as an entity has only been around for 27 days. This revelation was shocking because this business fired Sharon Lee and ANK Esports. The owner of Luyu Esports is Jingcheng Yao, who once owned an esports team in China. From what these Redditors gathered in their research, a theory began to circulate in the community. Many thought this was TNC's way of getting around Rule 3.1 of Riot's regulations pertaining to LCS teams, which state no owner or affiliate of owner may own or control more than one professional team. If an owner or affiliate of owner is found to have any financial interest or benefit or any level of influence in another team, she will be required to immediately divest said interest in one of the two teams and may be subject to punishment by the LCS. Later on in July 28, the facts came in. Thanks to the remarkable work of Travis Gafford during this time period, even admitting to pulling an all-nighter to write this story, he explained the entirety of the drama that has unfolded up to this point. Using his article on ongamers.com, these are the facts of the LMQ ownership drama. The article begins back when Sharon Lee tweeted that LMQ was independent from TNC. 1 month after this announcement, LMQ obtains a new CEO, Eno Lee. However, at the same time, he is also the CEO of Royal Club. When pressed about whether or not being the CEO of both clubs breaks Rule 3.1, Eno explains that he only manages both teams but does not own either of them. However, even with Eno Lee as CEO, official ownership of LMQ was registered under mutual company ANK Esports, with Eric Liao and Kevin Gao as owners. In Gaffert's article, he dives into ANK Esports' relationship between TNC and LMQ. There was an agency agreement between ANK and TNC. In the article, Gaffert explained that the contract supposedly declared TNC as having true ownership of the LMQ organization, with ANK registering ownership as means of obtaining visas for the players. The contract does not provide for any compensation to be made between TNC and ANK. ANK later voided the contract due to failure to pay for LMQ expenses. This led to Sharon Lee's tweet that LMQ was independent and that ANK were now the owners. However, Travis Gaffert cited sources who were close to TNC. These sources reported that they were unaware of any contractual breach and did not receive any notice that the contract was voided. Beyond the contractual disputes, there were other issues stemming from ANK Esports alone. First, Eric Leal, the co-owner of ANK Esports, is a significant other of Sharon Lee. That means that despite there being a business relationship between LMQ and ANK, there is also a romantic relationship intertwined. This raises the question pertaining to the conflict of interest between ANK and LMQ. However, Sharon Lee, speaking on OnGamers.com, said that Eric does not touch operations because he does not want his personal relationship with me to affect the team. We will get back to this relationship later. Second, and most importantly, ANK Esports owns LOLclass.com. For those unfamiliar, LOLclass.com serves as a competitive tutorial site for players seeking to improve their mechanics and gameplay. LOLclass sponsors multiple teams competing in the NALCS, including Team Solo Mid, Counterlogic Gaming, and Cloud9. The LOLclass sponsorship is in direct violation of Rule 3.1. When Riot found out about the violations in early June, they gave ANK Esports two options: transfer ownership of LMQ to another company or discontinue the LOLclass sponsorships of other teams. Since at the time the visas were still being registered, Riot gave ANK time to consider both options until the visas were issued. However, TNC stepped in before it ever got to that point. In late June, Jing Chung Yao, along with a representative from TNC, flew to America to obtain ownership of LMQ. Immediately, problems arose. Negotiations between ANK and Luyu Esports were unsuccessful. Both parties were unable to agree on a financial settlement. ANK asked for a purchase of $420,000, but Luyu disagreed. And their reason for disagreeing shines some light into the shroud. Luyu Esports disagreed on the asking price, stating that the number had no real basis, and TNC paid for all the expenses for LMQ and have bank record statements as proof. Yes, by expenses, they mean the one that Sharon Lee claimed LMQ had zero of. With negotiations beginning to falter, Alex Ku went up to Riot and showed the existence of the contract between ANK and TNC, conveying to them that TNC were the owners all along. Riot Games decided in favor of TNC. ANK's claims were no longer recognized and Luyu Esports became the new owner of LMQ. ANK Esports and Sharon Lee were then released on July 25th. In Riot's response to the entire ordeal, they confirmed that TNC produced evidence that they held ownership of the team the entire time, not ANK. Riot also acknowledged that all the players have been transferred from ANK Esports to Luyu Esports employees. However, 4 days later, the drama still has yet to subside. Alex Ku posted his side of the story on Facebook. He talks about his time being management and working with Sharon. He made scathing claims about Sharon Lee and her involvement in LMQ. Alex talked in detail about how Sharon wanted to be the public figure for the team and that she wanted him to step aside and not be recognizable as her. Not only that, but Sharon stopped involving Alex in decision making. After Sharon was in a relationship with Eric, she started to make the decisions herself. Next, in the Facebook post, Alex talked about Sharon and her role during the financial crisis. Alex confirmed that TNC suffered financial hardships between February and March of 2014. In April, TNC recovered and began wiring money over to Sharon, who was the sole person in charge of LMQ's bank account. After the contract was established between ANK and TNC, TNC still gave Sharon money when requested, and TNC gave everything they owed from the financial hardships as well. This claim meant that Sharon lied about ANK's reasoning for voiding the contract. Alex Ku says, "I didn't understand why Sharon would say that ANK terminated the agency agreement with TNC due to the reason that TNC failed to send money to her. This is completely not true. Why would TNC continue to send her money if the agency agreement has been voided? Sharon had been receiving money all this time, yet she claims that TNC did not send money after the agency agreement was signed. I have to wonder about her true intentions." However, the damaged allegation is a story about LMQ going to dinner on June 29, 2014. After Jing Chung Yao took LMQ to dinner following a victory over Team Dignitas, they came home to only be confronted by Sharon and two scary-looking guys in black shirts. They were intimidating everyone, especially Alex and Jing Chung Yao. When they attempted to call the police, the two men in black threatened to throw their phones into the pool. Alex Ku recalls, "The players were too scared to make a sound and just kept looking at each other. I was scared by what was happening as well. We were very concerned for the safety of our players, and we believed if we stayed at the gaming house to argue with them, then it would cause more unnecessary problems and threaten the safety of the players. So we chose not to confront them and leave the house." Lastly, Alex Ku made this statement directly to Sharon. "No wonder you refused to admit you had received money. Were you trying to pave the way for ANK to forcefully take over the team? I even remember multiple times where she threatened to withdraw the players' P1A applications and send the players all back to China if we don't let her manage the team the way she wants." With all these damning claims, two people broke their silence to confirm Alex's story, Xiao Xiao and No Name. However, another voice from inside LMQ spoke out too, Coach Peter Zhang. He announced his resignation as head coach on July 30th. He offered insight to what was happening inside the house during the drama. First, Peter denounced Xiao Xiao and No Name's stance on the LMQ drama. Peter claimed that Alex Ku forced Xiao Xiao to send the tweet marking their stances. No Name said to Xiao Xiao, "Why didn't you delete that tweet? This is going to mark our stance. Are you forgetting how Sharon treated us? You already forgot the good?" The tweet was deleted afterwards. Second, Peter explained LMQ's performance and how the drama impacted the team. Peter emotionally conveyed on the Reddit post that LMQ lost all of their scrims, postponed scrims to work on PR, and was in tears while coping with the state of the team and how it drastically changed over 10 days. Peter ends his emotional Reddit post with this final word. "Ultimately, the reason I can no longer be with the current Team LMQ is because the team is no longer the team I once knew, and I cannot support the public attacks on Sharon. If you don't know Sharon or have been part of Team LMQ, then you have no idea the things she did for the team. For those who care for the players, please help me protect them. To the players, all I want to say to you is this, LMQ. No matter what happens, please don't forget the original intention, my dear all." It is very important to note that in all of this drama, I cannot personally verify the statements made by Sharon Lee, Alex Ku, and Peter Zhang. All of their allegations are just claims, and they are not represented as fact. The only verifiable sources come from Travis Gafford and Riot. Overall, LMQ's drama was a complicated, disastrous internal mess. Mixed in was ownership drama with ANK and TNC, a feud between both managers Sharon and Alex, and scathing claims that are still unverifiable 3 years later. And trapped in the middle of it were all the 5 players, whom all they wanted to do was play League of Legends professionally and live the American dream. Instead, their futures in America and even Worlds was uncertain. When the drama died down, nobody in the community was satisfied. Nobody knew who to blame or who was telling the truth. Luckily for the team, this massive internal drama happened so late in the regular season that its effects on LMQ's standing was not significant enough to hurt. By the end of the summer split, with new ownership and new management, LMQ finished the regular season in second place, with 18 wins and 10 losses. They would qualify for playoffs and attempt to reach the goal they aimed for when they immigrated to the United States, the World Championship stage.